What's up guys, my name is Jellycut5 and welcome back to an episode of the Create a Club series. Before we do get into this video, it'd be much appreciated if you haven't done so already to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. If you have missed a previous episode, do be sure to be able to check that one out before you do watch this one, but if you have done so already, let's get straight into things. We start off today's episode with using our youth tournament advantages basically to try to see what we can do in the youth tournament, if we can develop our youth players any further than we can normally do and see if it kind of increases the development. You start off in the quarter-final stages and obviously you go on to the semi-final and the final if you were to win your games. I'm not too sure if I'm the biggest fan of the Rush kind of game mode itself. I know it's a new game mode that they've implemented. I'm kind of just used to your classic 11v11 in all fairness. Not something that really appeals to me too much, but I thought I would give it a go and just see what it's like. It was somewhat entertaining to a degree because obviously I'm using players that are very low in standard and trying to see if they will actually develop. Some of them have got high potential, so we could be seeing them in the squad in the future, or it could be something that we kind of use as a players to sell on and so on. But yeah, it was interesting. Playing against Fleetwood in this particular match, I didn't really know what to expect to some sort of degree. We did go 1-0 up at one point, but it was very, very hard to be able to pinpoint what was going to happen in any moment in time in the actual game. They do draw it back to 1-1 at one point in time with 1 minute left to spare, with a 5-minute half bearing in mind. So if you are to win, then that is it within that 5 minutes, and if you are to go 1-1, then I do believe it goes into basically a sudden death. We go 2-1 up in this particular one, though, as you can see. Really good goal, to be honest. And the actual kind of play between the players, bearing in mind they are very low rated, wasn't too bad. The goalkeeper in between the sticks is actually 15 years old. He's like 30 odd rated, but he actually did make some really good saves, it has to be said. But once again, I wasn't really too kind of taken back by what I could really do in terms of developing the youth. I thought there would be a better way in doing so. Maybe an actual proper 11v11, just kind of smaller time limits and having like a proper youth system behind you. But it is something in the right direction in terms of being able to develop your youth academy and so on. Just not something I don't know if I'm going to pursue in the future. I might just do off camera, but I wanted to see if something that you'd be interested in and you'd be seeing. Unfortunately, we couldn't come out on top in this particular game. Fleetwood did win the match 3-2 after drawing 2-2 after the 5 minutes. It went to a sudden death and Fleetwood did remain victorious in that particular tie. So they proceeded to the next round and unfortunately we were out. Lee Jackson got man of the match on our particular side. There was a lot of positives to take in terms of the actual side that we did have on display, but unfortunately they couldn't get over the line in that moment in time. Now having a full squad, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be signing that many players. If we are, it's going to be the case of a 1 or 2. I don't really see us signing that many players now on. I just wanted to be able to kind of insert everyone in terms of a growth or a development. By doing this, obviously, you can actually kind of enhance the particular stats that you're looking at your player. So you could have a fast centre-back, but you need to improve his stamina and defending. You could have a slow winger, and he's got good at shooting, so you want to improve his pace. There's all different things that you can implement, obviously, depending on the actual position itself. I've done it for every single player and tried to develop it as time's gone on. But it's really interesting that, obviously, it's kind of changed to a degree with actual the role growth that you can actually implement on the particular players itself. Interesting to see what you can do on that aspect. So it has changed to a degree. The actual kind of basis around it is pretty much similar to how it has been on all the previous games, but it's interesting to see how you can actually get a decent one in terms of half winger, as you can see there on the role growth. Everything like that is a little bit different, so there might be a bit more of a advantage to actually implementing these sort of development schemes into your players. But I've done that for every single one, and that means they should be able to grow at a higher rate if playing well within the squad. Our first match came up against Wycombe Wanderers in the Carabao Cup. I'm not interested about the competition whatsoever, bearing in mind the position that we're currently in. It was a 3-1 defeat, unfortunately, which was a bit annoying at some degree. I would have liked to have got through to the next round of the simulation just to get a little bit of prize money, but at the same time, Cunningham got a goal, which was the positive factor, and it's less games for ourselves to play in the schedule. Now, I said I wasn't really going to be signing many players, but one player that I did look at was Christoph Hovrat. In playing in the one game that we did play in the previous episode, I realised the midfield is really sparse in terms of going forward. Welch seems a really good attacking midfielder, but I feel like he's on his own to that degree, and I feel like he could do with someone around him, if not someone that can kind of compete with him at the same time. Christoph is 22 years of age. He's a decent cam, to be honest. Not the highest of pace, but his all-round stats in terms of the attributes he delivers as a midfielder seems to be pretty on point and probably suits our sort of role at this moment in time. He was off demanding a high wage, it has to be said, with a high signing on bonus, which I wasn't really too keen on at the start. But saying that, I probably won't really get anyone cheaper with the sort of stats that he has got on display. But we got the deal done in the end. He will wear the number 30 shirt for this particular season, and it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the actual midfield itself, whether he can improve us, and whether he can bring us that little bit of an edge as an attacking option. So our first game was at home, so our first home game at the JD Cook Arena. Looking forward to this one against Salford. Obviously, the class of 92 own this particular side. They've put a lot into Salford in terms of money and so on. They was on the brink of promotion last season, I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't to be the case, and they have stayed in League 2. Looking forward to this particular game. I know they're a strong squad, but at the same time, we've got a lot of offer in terms of going forward. This is going to be a really, really tough test to be able to see if we can actually deliver at home and whether we can get some consistency of results in. It'll be good to be able to see if we can. Obviously, coming off the back of the previous game wasn't exactly anything special, but at the same time, we are chopping and changing in terms of team lineups and so on, and trying to see what's best suited for ourselves in terms of going forward and trying to get the most out of this team we possibly can to get 3 points week in, week out. As you can see, we've gone for a scene 4-3-3 formation, pretty much the same side apart from Hoverath coming in there. As you can see, for Welch, he sits on the bench this particular game, so no real changes in that regard. So a pretty similar squad against Colchester, hoping for a result. Let's get straight into this game and let's see what we can do against Salford. 7 minutes into the tie there, we have a really poor pass out from the back, and it's really, really poor to be honest. And Ben Woodburn, the previous Liverpool prospect, he was deemed to be doing some massive things at Liverpool and didn't really amount to anything, unfortunately, but he starts in the side for Salford today there, as you can see, as they look to be able to create an option for themselves in the first 10 minutes or so. Really good opportunity to be able to see if they can get an early goal, in all fairness, as Stockton looks to play it back. Really consistent in the play also, as Ben Woodburn does pick it up, and it's a very good save made by Munir. Really, really good from Munir, and he's been really good between his sticks in these first few minutes or so, but unfortunately that was pretty much it for that particular half. We had no possession there, as you can see. Salford had one shot, we had one shot, and it just didn't really happen in that particular first half. A really kind of boring game. Hoping for better things in the second half, it has to be said. Whether that's going to be the case, I wasn't too sure at that point in time, because just didn't really seem to offer anything. The passing was slow, didn't really seem to get out of the areas quick enough, didn't really seem to be able to create anything in terms of creating just any opportunities. The second half, Salford start really well. Stockton looks to create an opportunity there, as you can see, but Daniel Amati gets stuck in there, finding his teammate on the right hand side. Elliott picks it up in the middle with an option to find Zendias on the right hand side, as he looks to be able to find Charles John. It's a really good pass for John, it has to be said. Not pacey enough to get away from the defenders though, as he looks to get the shot off, and he's stopped in his tracks there. Garbutt does really well on the tackle as he looks to clear his lines out onto the left hand side, as Salford pick it up, and they look to go on the attacking options themselves, as Woodburn plays a 1-2 with Stockton. Woodburn does offer the support there, as you can see. Does go back to Woodburn, but from not the original play, but Woodburn striding forward on the left hand side, looking to get the ball into the area. He does exactly that there. Advantage being played for a foul there, looks to backheel to it, and that is a very good save made by Munir, as Stockton fires it at him. That is a very strong save, and we do clear our line. Salford definitely starting the better of the two in this particular second half, and there's no denying that. You can see once again it's a team that is gelled, and a team that has been together much longer than this particular one. There's another chance there denied by Munir, as he just covers his near post, putting it out for a corner kick. Definitely the showstopper in this particular time. Without him between the sticks, we would definitely be trailing in this tie, that is for certain. For a corner kick to be played short then, with an option to get the ball into the area, they just kind of hover around the area, but they did really well to get it in once again, and Munir with a very good save. Salford are really mounting the pressure on us now, as well. Another good save there, and a clearance made. I think that was Reyes put a foot in there, and I think if we weren't to have done so, that one unfortunately would have been a goal for Salford, and that would have been a very big blow for ourselves, because I just can't see us creating any sort of kind of attacking options whatsoever. It's all Salford so far, and as you can see going forward, they look so confident in their play. Stockton picks it up once again, a defence to split apart then, with an option to be able to see if they can get a shot off, and he definitely does that, but it is a more of a comfortable save made by Munir. 77 minutes being played, still nothing to offer in this second half whatsoever. Why? I'm not too sure, but it's really, really hard to be able to get any play together. Once again, Daniel Amati clears his lines from the attacking option, finding Zendias on the right hand side then. Could this be the chance, as Charles John strides forward then? He's an option. Charles John is there. He gets found at the same time. He's in for the shot, and he can't poke it past the keeper on that opportunity there, as Edwards looks to clear his lines and end that attacking field for the opposition there. And that is it. It was a really, really boring game. I mean, a 0-0s are never really exciting unless kind of both teams have had options and opportunities to be able to kind of get themselves in front. But Salford deserved the victory, but they just come out short on that particular game. Hoverath with his debut, not exactly the best debut debut. I'll probably put Welch in the next game in all fairness, because he was really underwhelming, and hoping for bigger, better things when he does play in the next game. So that is a poor one, but unfortunately that we're just going to have to keep on going and see what we can do in that moment in time. But we do make another signing, and the other signing that I've seen as a free agent is Marcelo Flores. I feel like in the left hand side we're really lacking. Parkin is more of a striker, so if I switch Parkin to the striker role and put in Marcelo Flores on the left hand side, I feel like it could work. His weekly wage was right, it's just a signing on bonus that he wanted at 26,000, but we're quite happy to accept. He's very small, he's very nimble, and he looks like a very good option to be able to see what he can do in this moment in time. So he is through the door. He will wear the number 10 shirt for this season. I'm really looking forward to seeing him on the pitch. Second game of the episode comes up against newly promoted side Chesterfield, away from home in this particular tie. Looking forward to this one. Chesterfield aren't the strongest of sides within League 2 themselves, only just being newly promoted, and this is definitely a chance for ourselves to be able to take and see if we can get 3 points in this particular tie. Marcelo Flores will be starting on his debut, so we are going to be changing things up as the side. So it's going to be interesting for what we can do as a team going forward, whilst in Marcelo Flores going into that fold, whether Parkin will work as a kind of single striker or not, or whether we're seeing Charles John more often. Charles John hasn't really had the best of starts of the season. He's a big prospect, only being 16 years old and 61 rated, but at the same time I feel like Parkin's probably better suited for that role, being a striker. So this is going to be the lineup for our side there. As you can see, we've got Welch coming back into the side, so it's pretty much the same exact side that we've got, but Welch coming in instead of Hovrat, and then we've got Marcelo Flores coming in for Charles John, and then Parkin going on top from himself. So attacking options do look a bit better for ourselves. I feel like this will be more suited, but let's see what happens in this particular game. 3 minutes into the game, Chesterfield looked to start this game really strong, to be honest, striding forward on the right hand side, beating Jamal Lewis. Madden picks it up as he goes back on himself there. The number 24 for Chesterfield strides down the right hand side, using a lot of pace for himself to be able to see if he can get a ball into the area. Madden picks it up, he twists past the defender, really good at the same time. He finds Dobra, but the shot is straight at Munir, and he clears that straight away with a fast throw out on the left hand side. Marcelo Flores is lost out on the play there, as you can see, but Jamal Lewis strong in the tackle, finding Prince onto Welch there as he looks to drive forward. He's stopping the challenge, but Prince picks it back up over the top to Elliott then, as he looks to be able to kind of run with it there. Many options are there. One of them is Parkin. He's looked to be able to kind of drag out to the right, but he falls it back into Zendias, and that is a shot saved, but Welch is on the rebound and he thumps it into an empty net to make it Chesterfield 0, JD Cook FC 1. Really good shot from Welch, coming back into the side, getting a goal to his name, and that is a superb stuff. There's no real technical ability about it whatsoever, but right place, right time, and he finds the back of the net. Really, really good goal away from home at the same time. Really good start, because obviously Chesterfield started really nicely and quickly, and we've kind of nipped that in the bud with a counter-attacking option. And as you can see, the defender was so close to be able to get to that one, but Welch is really, really quick and persistent in the attack, and he volleys it into an empty net. So 1-0 up in this particular time, 23 minutes being played so far. Chesterfield have kind of slowed things down as things go on there, as the goal kick is taken as we win back possession. Welch picks it up in the middle, finding some Diaz. Really good option there as he looks to get past the defenders, and it could be 2, and it definitely is 2. What a bit of play this is so far, and this is definitely what we want. Chesterfield 0, JD Cook FC 2 now. That was so easy for himself. The American international just skips past the defenders. He knows what he wants to do in that moment in time. He pings it on his left foot, and he finds the back of the net. 2-0 up in this particular tie then, looking really strong. Should really hold on to this now and be able to kind of go on further in this particular tie, but you just never know. And Chesterfield aren't giving up at this moment in time. Look for an opportunity there, as you can see, with an option to be able to get a shot off. Gordon looks to be able to see if he can pass it into Madden. Lovely save made Munir just on literally near to the end of the half-time whistle, as we look to be able to play it out from the back. Daniel Marty finds his teammate Prince in the middle of the park then, with an option to be able to see if he can fly on the left-hand side. Marcelo Flores hasn't created anything just yet, but he finds Parkin in the middle then. Many options are there. He tries to find Welch, but a poor pass, it has to be said. I thought Flores might kind of go into that gap, but it wasn't to be in that moment in time, as Chesterfield looked to be able to play it out from the back. Chesterfield have looked strong in the attack, and they've been solid in defence, in all honesty. Only the 2 mistakes from the 2 goals, but apart from that, they've been really kind of fluent in their play, and they're looking for another option here. Dobra picks it up with many options there, Madden being one of them there, as he tries to play the offside line, but as you can see, he's really, really high on the line. He picks it up, and a first-time finish, finds himself with only a 1-goal deficit now. Madden making it Chesterfield 1, JD Cook FC 2 now, as the manager looks very happy that and very content knowing there's only a 1-goal deficit going into the second half. And I have to say, it was a very good finish, literally toe poking it on the right hand side, just lapping over the keeper. Really didn't expect that whatsoever, but it's a coolly timed finish, and fair play to him, to be honest, because you can't get any better than that whatsoever. And they find themselves again with only a 1-goal deficit, so they would have definitely preferred that going into the second half. Let's see if we can build on what we did in the first half though, and not let this lead slip. Then second half commences then as Dobra picks it up on the left hand side. Chesterfield full of confidence after getting a goal just on the brink of half time as Dobra picks it up on the left hand side, still on the ball. Really good options, Madden's being one of them there, and that is a very good save on his near post from Munir, going out for a corner kick. Fleck looks to be able to play a short corner, and he definitely does there as he finds Dobra. Dobra could get the ball into the area, but Elliott really strong in the tackle there. Many options there as many yellow and black shirts striding forward there as Ndiaye picks it up. This is really good for ourselves. The USA International has found himself in a really good position. The pace is too much for them, and so is the effort from goal, because it's going to be Chesterfield 1, JD Cook FC 3, and that is another 2-goal advantage in this particular tie. Really, really good stuff. A second goal added to his name in this tie, and he's definitely been the star player in this side, that is for certain. Really, really good attacking play, and hats off to Elliott to be able to win the ball where he did and just go further forward on and get the goal that we needed, because Chesterfield are knocking on the door. They've started the second half really brightly, and that would have kind of dulled the confidence down for themselves, and hopefully we can now build on that and just kind of nip this game in the bud. But you just never know. 67 minutes being played now. We're still looking comfortable, we're still looking strong, but Chesterfield are not giving up just yet, that is for sure. Palmer with a very strong challenge in the middle of the park then, finding Dobra on the left hand side. He's been fed really well. Jacobs looks to find Madden once again. He's had 1 goal, can he find 2? He skips past the defender, and that is a goal that you have to put your hats up to. That is a really good goal from Madden. Once again they're being cool, calm and collective in the attack, and if he carries on like this, he's definitely going to be Chesterfield's star player for this particular season, it has to be said. He makes Reyes look completely stupid in that moment. He just skips past him, he knows what he wants to do, and he absolutely finds the top corner. Such a good effort, and that is 3-2 now, as we're going to make some substitutions. Giles John comes on for Parkin. Parkin not really doing much in this particular time. I would have hoped to have them done better, bearing in mind that we have given him a chance in that particular role, but unfortunately that isn't to be the case. With 4 minutes left to play in this time, we're looking to see out the particular fixture with Charles John with an option now. Marcelo Flores feeds him, he turns the defender, he's in front of goal, but unfortunately he is denied in that opportunity. Really, really good chance from Charles John, but once again he is yet to find the back of the net for JD Cook FC. But we're not too fussed, because we've walked away with all 3 points. Chesterfield 2, JD Cook FC 3, and that is a very good win on the road. Chesterfield I'm going to be seeing at the bottom of the table, in all fairness, I think. I feel like they're stronger sides, even though that we did struggle against them. I just don't feel like they've got the capabilities to be able to kind of reach the heights, but in all fairness to them, they really gave us a game, and hats off to their striker Madden, because he did really well. But really, we did well to be able to kind of hold on to the lead that we did, and just go even further forward. As you can see on social media, John has been talked about as a hot prospect. He just needs to find the back of the net, and I think it will all be there for himself then, as we have our third and final game of the episode. I forgot to be able to display the lineup. As you can see, we've got Munir in goal, Reyes and Amati as centre-backs, Gibbons on the right, Lewis on the left, Prince and Elliott in the middle with Welch ahead of us there. As you can see, we keep the same lineup of Flores on the left, St. Giles on the right, and Perkin up top. So we're going to keep at it for the moment, hope to be able to see if that can kind of work in our favour, and see what happens in this particular tie. And we are facing against Tranmere Rovers, a team at the bottom of the League 2 at the moment, haven't scored a point whatsoever. They're looking to see if they can get their first points on the board for this particular season. Whether that's going to be the case, I'm not too sure, as they look to be able to see if they can play it out from the back, but they're really, really dangerous in their play at the same time, playing in these opportunities where we're chasing them down, and Parkin is doing really, really well to chase the ball down. Could he have himself a first goal of the season there, as he looks to chase down the defenders, passing it in the middle? It looks really congested, it has to be said, and where they're trying to pass it through, it's just not going to work for him whatsoever, and they're having to go back to go forward, and that's never positive play from a side whatsoever there. And we're really, really trying to be able to get the ball off of him in such a high kind of moment on the field. For the same time, it's just so easier to be able to kind of run him off and kind of pick it off in that moment and hit on the counter attack, and that is exactly why Parkin picks it out. There's nobody around him, and it's so easy to do it in this moment in time. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper, he outside the foot shots it, and it's Tranmere 0, JD Cook FC 1, and Parkin does get his first goal of the season. That's a very good moment from Parkin. It was only but coming, in all fairness, because they were just passing it around the back, being so dangerous in their play, and you just open yourselves up in terms of being able to kind of being pressed and pressed and pressed before you lose the ball, and that's what happened. It was so much easier to do that from our perspective in terms of sitting back and then waiting and then going on the attack, because we knew if we won the ball in that sort of position, we could just stride forward with nobody around us whatsoever, and it's basically a free hit at goal, and that's exactly what's happened in that moment. And Tranmere Rovers are already trailing in the first 10 minutes, but they don't learn from their lesson whatsoever, still playing it around from the back, not learning from the opportunities they can take whatsoever, as Bobby Gibbons picks it up on the right hand side after a really good tackle. His second challenge there once again, but he's not successful in that attempt as they look to be able to pick it up. Hawks picks it up there, as you can see, probably the furthest moment they've actually got in this first 15, as we look to play it in the middle. Prince finds Welch there as we look to be able to stride forward on the right hand side there, as you can see. Alejandro looks to be able to see if he can get the ball into the area. So much pace above him whatsoever, and Bradshaw takes him down, and the referee awards a penalty, and this is not going from Tranmere. It's gone from bad to worse for themselves there as they concede a penalty, and JD Cook FC have another chance of getting another goal, making a 2-goal cushion. It was a simple foul in all fairness. He just shoves him over in the box. There's no denying it whatsoever, and Reyes is going to be our penalty taker for this season with the highest penalties on the pitch, and he does take the penalty, and he converts the penalty himself. It's Tranmere Rovers 0, JD Cook FC 2. Reyes gets his first goal of the season, and a very cool, calm and collective penalty at the same time. Keeper tries to go the same way, but he doesn't even look like he attempts it in the end, to be honest. It's a really well put penalty, and you're not getting anywhere near that. And it's a super stuff, to be honest. And we've started this game really strongly. Getting 2 goals in quick succession kind of nips things in the bud for Tranmere Rovers. And I don't think we're seeing any comeback, even though we've only got a 2-goal cushion. If they were to get 1 goal back, they could find themselves back into the tie. But from what they've displayed so on in this first 20 minutes or so in the first half, it's just not worked out in their favour whatsoever. But they're such a deep team. And if you look at their shape at the moment, they've only got 2 back there. So if we win the ball back again, we're in a good position. And they're really deep on them 2 centre-backs. And the full-back helps them out in that moment in time. But they've just got no shape, and there's so many points in time where we could have won the ball and created a first opportunity like Parkin had for his first goal. So I don't know why they were playing like that, and the system they're trying to implement, I'm not too sure, but it's really, really strange. Norris tries to go forward for Tranmere Rovers there, as you can see, but he's not really confident in the play whatsoever. Doesn't want to shoot himself. He kind of wants to pass it on to another player to take the shot. Norris does pick it up once again there. As you can see, he's just twisting and turning, not really seeming to be able to kind of make up his ideas whatsoever, and it's really, really strange. I don't think I've ever really seen this from an opposition whatsoever. Just been so negative, going back and forth, kind of passing it around. They've actually requested a substitute in the 31st minute. It's got that bad for him. It's really strange to see, in all fairness. Something's got to change for him. Whether that's a substitute, I'm not too sure, but really looking bleak for Tranmere Rovers. They lose it in the middle of the park as Elliott looks to find it out on the right hand side. Welch picks it up. Parkinson support at the same time. He finds Parkin. He looks it off to the right hand side. Really good opportunity to get a third in this tie, and it's exactly what we've done. He got 2 in the previous tie, and he's got 1 again. Alejandro Zanayas, a lovely goal, it has to be said. He pokes it past the keeper on a awkward angle, just kind of falls into the ball, but it works out in his favour as it nestles into the top corner, and we've now found ourselves 3-0 up. Going into the second half, we knew how we had the job done. It was just kind of seeing the game out, in all fairness, knowing that Tranmere Rovers didn't even record a shot in the first half. It was quite clear that we knew what we need to do in the second half, to sit back and relax. If we need to take the opportunities and do so, but if not, I don't feel like there was any kind of threat from the attacking play. Prince picks it up in the middle in the 67th minute as Bobby Gibbons picks it up on the right, but he loses out to Norris there, as you can see. Norris tries to get the ball in. Really good delivery at the same time there, but really strong in the challenge. Reyes there, as you can see, he's really, really consistent in the tackle, but unfortunately the play out was not good whatsoever as Taylor picks it up on the left-hand side. He tries to get the ball in once again, but Reyes denies him, going out for a corner kick. Substitutions to be made then as we look to be able to swap a few things out. Partridge comes on for Elliott. Tomlinson comes on for Denias there, just changing it up as we can with being a 3-0 lead, and Charles John comes on for Parkin. So 3 subs with 20 minutes left to play in this tie. So look to be able to play it short from the corner. Hendry picks it up as he looks to be able to twist past Prince there. Lovely interception from Prince, it has to be said. Really, really good from himself just to be able to kind of stay put and actually intercept the play. As we look to be able to go on the attack once again, Tomlinson finds his teammate Charles John. Charles John strides forward then. Options are there, but one-on-one with himself, and that is not good whatsoever. He is denied. Norman picks up the pieces for Tranmere Rovers, but that would have been a great opportunity to get another goal in this game, especially as Charles John hasn't opened up his account in his career so far. With 90 minutes on the clock, only 1 minute left to spare, they have another opportunity, Tranmere Rovers. In the second half, they did look better, but the header was wayward, and that is the end for this particular try. Tranmere Rovers haven't picked up a point whatsoever, and they haven't done it in this tie either, as it's Tranmere Rovers 0, JD Cook FC 3. Another clean sheet for Munir, and another 3 points for JD Cook FC. Really, really good stuff. Just did what we needed to do, got an early goal, kind of just there were so many mistakes on Tranmere Rovers that we was able to pounce on, and that was the kind of the difference for ourselves. I think if they weren't to have made the mistakes that they did, then I don't feel like they would have been in the position they were in and what they are in now. Welch has gone up to a half winger, and as I was saying about the actual roles themselves, that goes for a level up for himself. So that is really, really good, and that's why you have to implement these things on these different players. The last particular game that we did play against was Blackpool, and I was surprised to see this. So I played a complete B team in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, which was originally the Johnston Paint Trophy, and we got a 3-2 win. Tomlinson, Cunningham and Seymour all getting on the score sheet, which was really surprising to see, I have to be said, because I'm not interested in the actual competition itself. I'll be more interested in League 1. We've actually got a decent side behind us, but for now in League 2, I'm not too fussed whatsoever. Bear in mind that Blackpool are a league ahead of us. They were just nowhere to be seen in that particular tie. So 3-2, so we got 3 points on the board in that particular group stage game, and we're looking okay. So that is all positives all round. And as you can see, we've played 4, won 3, and drawn 1. Currently level on points with AFC Wimbledon, who have done exactly the same as us, and it is all very tight up the top there, as you can see. But it's all to play for from 8th to for 1st. It's still 3 points in it. So as games gone in, it will spread about, but we're in a really good position for the moment, doing what we need to do, and hopefully we continue that on in the next episode. But that is it for this particular one. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe for more content, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you never miss a video. Cheers.